Welcome to the Happy Mama Movement podcast. I'm Amy Taylor-Kabbaz. I would like to start by acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of this land, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. And as this podcast is dedicated to the wisdom and knowledge of motherhood, I would like to acknowledge the mothers of this land, the elders, their wisdom, their knowing, and my own elders and teachers. Welcome back, mamas. What do you do when you feel pulled in all directions? How are you coping at the moment with all the world is asking of you? This is something that, once again, I'm asking myself and also really wanting to hear from you. I recently sent out an email, my weekly email, to everyone who's on my email list, sharing with them a process I have come back to. Something I tried many, many years ago and I loved but forgot. It's a process of listing all the things that make me happy right here, right now in my life. Not that I'm waiting for, not that I'm trying to manifest or create, but the tiny, simple, beautiful things that are right there in front of me. And so I want to share some of that process with you today. So often, at the end of the day, we can fall into bed focusing on all the things we didn't get to, all the little mistakes, the little regrets, the things that we wish we had time to do, the things we beat ourselves up about. The first thing I want to say about that is we can't beat ourselves up about doing that. Ever since we were born, really, we have been raised in a culture and a society that tells us we are what we do. We are worth what we put out into the world, what we're paid, how people see us, how productive we are, what we achieve. And so there's no doubt why we then end up at the end of the day lying in bed and doing an audit of what we have done today. That audit can be so toxic and draining because we carry the invisible load of so much of the parenting, so much of the worrying and the organizing that, to be honest, we will never get to the end of that list. The list is eternal. If you asked my mum, I'm sure she still has a list of things that she checks off thinking about her children. And so why do we hang so much on this audit of how we're going and where we are? This expectation we have that one day we will get it all done and fall into bed satisfied, complete. I have struggled with this my whole life, thinking that there was an end point where I would finally be pleased with all that I had done. I had achieved all I said I would, and I would be able to rest. If you've been here for a while, which I know many of you have, you know that this struggle with rest, this struggle with enoughness has been a lifetime struggle for me and has fueled all of my work. And so when I recognized that this internal audit was getting louder and louder in my head recently, I came back to this practice of listing all the things that I am happy with, the things that make me happy. It reminded me of this quote by the phenomenal poet, feminist, mother, Audre Lorde, who said, "We are all more blind to what we have than to what we have not." We are all more blind to what we have than to what we have not. we become so blind to the things around us because in this world and in this society and in the way that we've been trained, we are trained to focus on what is missing, what we still need to do and what we still need to accomplish. This isn't a #blessed spiritual bypassing practice where even in the middle of chaos and tragedy, we have to remind ourselves that everything happens for a reason and I'm so blessed because other people have it so much worse than me. This is not what I'm saying. In fact, that is such a toxic approach that we are also sold will fix everything. Instead, what I realize with this practice, which I'm repeating every day at the moment, is that there are so many beautiful, beautiful things in my life right around me, right now, that I can be proud of, that I can breathe in and soak in more. And when I feel that, I am moved to seek out more, create more, and do more. And so this sense of productivity, this sense of achievement and satisfaction comes from a fullness rather than an emptiness. It comes from this recognizing of what I already have and therefore seeking more, rather than recognizing what I don't have and what I didn't do and pushing myself to do more. And that is an imperceptible shift, but a powerful one. If we look at what we have and what we do each day as mothers and as women and as human beings from a place of seeing all that we already have and therefore getting excited about what could be next, that's a completely different energy on our nervous system, on our body, on our heart, and on our soul than looking around and seeing all of the problems, everything you've forgotten, everything you don't have time for, everything you should have done, and then pushing yourself. That is depleting. It's like running on empty. And so, what if you began a practice where you began to see what you do have already, what you already are doing, what you've already created? And from there, feel that filling up. Feel that energy, that gratitude, that excitement. I wonder what else is coming. I wonder what else will make me happy tomorrow. I wonder what else I'll see and find. And so I want to share with you some of the list that I wrote. As I said, I sent this out in a newsletter. If you want to have my weekly thoughts on all of this, please jump on amytaylorkabbaz.com and sign up. But my invitation for all of us this week and beyond is that if you're feeling pulled and stretched, if you feel that at the end of every day, all you can see, all you're doing is the audit within, and then the next day pushing yourself to do more and more, what if we instead came from an energy of, I already have so much and I'm so excited for more? This is some of the list that I wrote, the practice that I'm using to remind myself of this. May it be of inspiration for you. I am happy when I'm holding Cass's little hand. It's so soft and fits so beautifully in mine. It's a safe place I never want to forget. I am happy when I hug Scarlett and feel her full body presence in the hug. And when she puts her head in my lap, a special memory for the two of us of a time we went through when no one else will ever understand. I am happy when Greta opens up to me, finally cracking open that heart and sharing with me all her thoughts. And when she laughs. Oh, I love when she laughs. I'm happy when all three of them lie on my bed with me before bedtime, often much later than it should be. And they are all so happy laughing and talking, and no one wants it to end. I am happy when I look at the kids with Archie, our puppy, knowing I did that. I made enough money to be able to give that to them. I'm happy in A's arms when we sleep, his leg wrapped around mine, always touching. I am happy at the beach, the waves, the air. And I'm happy at my parents' house, sitting in the corner with afternoon snacks, playing cards, just being. I'm happy with a book like I had in Fiji, when I could lose myself in it and didn't want to stop. I'm happy paying for dinner for my family, proudly knowing I did that. I made this money for them. I'm happy with my sister, just the two of us laughing. I'm happy dreaming of my business and the possibilities, of remembering the little girl reading the books about female leaders in the aisles of the library at my school in Japan, and dreaming of maybe, one day, being someone like that. I'm happy cleaning my house, pottering around and making it beautiful for my kids. I'm happy in libraries and restaurants when I'm wearing heels and big earrings. I'm very happy on planes and in airports and traveling. I'm happy on road trips. Oh, how I love road trips. I'm happy running with music in my ears and dancing by myself at night with my silent disco. I'm happy at the movies and on random Tuesday afternoons when I have nothing to do and money I can spend on me and wandering the shopping centre just for me. I'm happy cleaning out my wardrobe and my fridge. I'm happy doing weights at the gym and rolling out my yoga mat for a class. I'm happy choosing an oil for the lounge room and music for the background so my kids remember what our home felt like. I'm happy eating on the balcony and sitting in front of a fire. I'm happy at a Sunday session, friends and kids coming in and out, lazy afternoon rolling on. I'm happy fishing. Who would have known? The boat on the water and the focus of the fishing. I'm happy just being in the moment. I'm happy reading magazines and watching Gilmore Girls with Greta. I'm happy in the pool with Cass and at the beach by myself, but also watching the kids play and run on the sand with nothing to do but play in the sand. I'm happy. I actually am so happy. This is what it's all for. May this inspire your happy list, sweet mama. May it help you see what you already have and fill you up to go and get even more. Let me know your list. And thank you for being here and sharing this with me. Until next week, Satnam.